What's going on, Washington fans? I hope you guys are having a great day. And today's video is about how our beloved Washington football team can win the NFC East. I'm not going to call it the least, but it's the least, but how they can win the NFC East. Starting off with a recap of today's game. So, the Giants beat the Cincinnati Bengals 19-17. It was a really close game. Shouldn't have been a close game. Bengals choked their second string quarterback. Last name was Allen. I forgot his first name. Brandon Allen, I think. Like fumbled when they could have had a game winning field goal, but they just choked because they're the Bengals. And it showed how desperately they needed Joe Burrow on their offense. But that's besides the point. So the Giants are number one in the division. They're 4-7, same record with us. But since they swept us, they have that. They hold that tiebreaker. So anyway, talking about the Giants, Daniel Jones got hurt. He had a hamstring, and like something happened with his hamstring. I think he tweaked it up a little bit. Colt McCoy, the guy that we love and appreciate for that win against Dallas in 2014 Monday night at their house. But a great guy for the Washington football team that I just appreciate him. Guy was a true warrior. But anyway, he was their second string quarterback, came in and did the job and beat the Bengals. But we don't know how long Jones is going to be out, so that's going to be interesting. But let's just talk about our schedule. So next week we're going at Pittsburgh, and then the week after we're gonna travel to San Francisco, and then we're gonna host Seattle, and then we're gonna host the Panthers, and then we're gonna go travel to the Eagles for the last game. So I mean, Pittsburgh is gonna come off a short week because they're playing Baltimore on Tuesday, so that might affect them. But again, they're an undefeated team, have an amazing defense, the number one defense in the NFL. So playing at their house, I don't even remember the last time we beat Pittsburgh at their house. I mean, the last time we went to Pittsburgh at their house was 2012, and we lost with RG3, I think. Yes, if I'm not mistaken. So I don't really see us winning that game. But the next three games with Pittsburgh and San Francisco and Seattle, if we win one of those games, that's fine. I just want to win one of them. Because San Francisco, they did win today against the Rams, and they have a lot of injuries, but they're a team that fights with a well-sound coach like Kyle Shanahan, who again was in Washington, but that's besides the point. Yeah, I mean, it's gonna be interesting. I mean, I like the game that I think we have the best chance of winning is against Seattle, because that Seattle defense is just terrible. Ken Norton Jr. needs to get fired, their defensive coordinator. Jamal Adams is getting called Blitz Boy. It's crazy. And, our defense against Russell Wilson, I know he's arguably a top three quarterback and he's really mobile and just high IQ, but I like the matchup against him against our defense, and I feel like we can win that game. We have the best chance of winning that game compared to the other two. But yeah, and then the Panthers. I mean, they just blew a lead against Minnesota yesterday. Teddy Bridgewater, I think he got hurt. And, I feel like we can beat that team. Ron wants revenge against his old team that fired him. So, yeah. And then we traveled to Philly. I mean, Philly looks like a whole dumpster fire right now. They're giving Jalen Hurts first team reps at practice. I just feel like they're giving up on Carson Wentz. And, can you really blame them? The guy's been playing terrible. I mean, his mechanics, and the guy just hasn't been the same since that injury. And, it's hard to watch, but just gotta move on. It's next man up mentality. So that's my thing. That's our next 5 games. And I feel as if we win if we win 3 games, we'll win the division, and we'll end up being, we're 4-8 right now. 8-8, no, 8-8 will win the division. So now we look at the Giants, who are, I think that's the team that we are pretty much worried about, because Dallas and Philly are out of it basically. So the Giants are playing Seattle next week in Seattle. And it's a tough stretch, honestly. Then they host the Cardinals, then they host the Browns, and they go to the Baltimore to face the Ravens. Then they host the Cowboys. I really feel like the only winnable game for them is that Cowboys game, especially if Daniel Jones misses time. I mean, playing in Seattle, beating Seattle when you barely beat the Cincinnati Bengals, and then playing Kyler Murray, a mobile quarterback, and then the Browns are still a good team, and Baltimore has Lamar, the reigning MVP. It's gonna be difficult, man. I don't know. I really only see them winning one more game, and they'll be 5-11. So yeah, And then for the Eagles, their schedule is looking like it's looking rough. So tomorrow they play Monday night against Seattle. That's going to be a loss. Then they go to Green Bay. Then they host the Saints. Then they play the Cardinals. And they play the Cardinals in Arizona. Then they play at Dallas, and they play us. The only game, I mean, I don't even see them winning because that's just a tough stretch, man. I mean, I don't see them winning any more games. Maybe that Dallas game, but I really feel like we can beat them again. We will sweep them. But yeah, I think Philly's season's basically over. They need to fire Doug Peterson and that GM, Jeffrey Lurie or Howie Roseman. I forgot. They just need to bring in new people. For Dallas, I think Dallas is done with because they lost to us on Thanksgiving, got blown out at their own place in front of the whole nation. But this is what the schedule is looking like. They're gonna host the Ravens, host the Bengals, they're going to travel to Cincinnati, host the 49ers, host the Eagles, and then go to New York. I just feel like it's over for them, honestly. Like, I don't know. I just don't see them doing anything. I just think we need to worry. The only team we need to worry about is the Giants, and as long as we win one of those next three games, and then we win the last two games, we're gonna go in the fourth as the fourth seed and play the fifth seed. The fifth seed will probably be Tampa Bay because New Orleans is probably gonna win the NFC South, or Seattle. And again, I like our matchup against Seattle and kind of Tampa Bay. I mean, we can put pressure on Tom Brady if we play him in the wild card. And number one pass defense against an offense that has amazing weapons. It'll be a fun matchup. It'll just be nice to go back into the playoffs because we haven't been there in a while since 2015. It's just we gotta change the culture. I know we all said tank, tank, tank. Well, some people like me said that, but it's this tanking. It's not good. It just makes the culture worse. And we want to develop this new culture, the name change and everything. Ron Rivera, battling cancer and essentially defeating it, hopefully, and how he's done with his treatment. And we just want to change it up, man. We were winning off the field, and now we need to win on the field. And this is how we're gonna win the division, man. We just need to win 3 more games, and 8-8 will get us in the playoffs. So we'll see, man. We'll see. But that's pretty much it, guys. Or 7-9 will get us in the playoffs. I don't know. But that's pretty much it, guys. The football team, man, it's going to be an interesting game. If we even, make it competitive against Pittsburgh, I'd count that as a W because Pittsburgh's just an amazing team. It's hard to beat them, let alone at their house. They got ballers on defense like Minka Fitzpatrick, TJ Watt, Stephon Tuitt, and then Mike Tomlin is an amazing head coach, arguably the best coach in the NFL. When you're a head coach for a team for more than a decade, or I think more than that, you're a good head coach. That's pretty much it, guys. Just want to talk about that. I'm gonna drop my preview for the Pittsburgh game probably on Friday. Yeah, probably on Friday or Thursday. That's it, guys. Peace. Hail to the football team.